Oh, Brett Cooper's a lady or a very pretty man. Look at that, like, smug little laugh. This is what it means to stand up to values.
I'm not the biggest sports fan. It's not that I dislike sports. It's just never been part of my life to follow them. I kind of dabble. I know a little bit about a lot of sports. That's how most of my life is. I feel like I know a lot and can do a little bit of many things.
It's a great introduction to this individual of being like, I don't know a lot of things. I know like a little bit, like I'm aware that things are happening, but I don't really know anything.
Waves, not only in the tennis community, but in the world this past year. He just won Wimbledon for the 4th straight time.
Big tennis fan over here. Wimbledon. I get the strong feeling she's full of shite.
And Wimbledon removed their rankings for this last tournament because of some political stuff. So because he did not get ranked for Wimbledon, he now just moved down
Wimbledon?
to...
Genuinely, Chaos. Missy, sorry. I wouldn't mind that she was saying Wimbledon. I wouldn't mind if she didn't have this like big thing at the beginning being like, so the thing about me is I don't know anything. I'm not an expert on anything. I'm actually not very well informed. But the one thing I do know, I know tennis. I played it growing up. I'm a big fan. I've been to the US and then it started slowing down. I've been to the US Open at some point, maybe. That sounds believable, right? And I watched games, matches, sets. Wimbledon.
Government said no, so Djokovic was detained in solitary confinement and then was later deported. The government got involved. It was this whole spectacle.
It wasn't solitary confinement. He was in protected confinement because he's a celebrity. She made that sound like he was put in the box, those old like prison movies, like, no, don't put me in the box.
To this man, whatever, he will not be able to play. And Djokovic took it all in stride. He went home to Serbia.
Djokovic, by the way.
Saying,
but
like, I will not
carry on. We'll work on Wimbledon first, and then we'll get to the
right
names of the athletes.
Why? Because the principles of decision making on my body are more important than any title.
Do you know what? I think he's an idiot, but I don't hate it. If you don't want to get vaccinated for whatever you're fucked up, fine, just stay away from me and my fam. Do you know what I mean? Like, just like, at least he's aware. He hasn't tried to hide it or anything like that. Like, he's just went, I'm just, yeah, I can't go. I made a decision and it means I can't go to that. And I'm a man, I'm a grown up, and I'm facing the consequences for my actions. And I'm aware of that. And I'm taking, like, and then people that don't even watch tennis do not care about it, even though she grew up playing it and is obviously a great big fan of Djokovic and Wimbledon. It's just take it as a fucking straw man to run forward with their stupid bullshit opinions.
Accept his right to choose, but he needs to accept a country's decision not to let him in.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. That is
literally what he said in the video.
Yeah, he's fine. Well, then why are you angry?
The interviewer said, and is that a price we're willing to pay? Yes, it is, because my bodily autonomy.
What is she angry about? I've watched this pish for over 5 minutes. What's she angry? It's the thing with all these right-wing fuckwits, right? What are they actually angry about? I don't get it. What was she angry about there? What was that video about? It was about the fact that a tennis player who she did not know, that played a sport that she did not know in spite of lying to try and get some fucking respect at the beginning of it. Some credentials that she applied to herself and immediately ruined. Like, so she didn't know who he was. She didn't know anything about him and what he did. It was just a little bit of fucking outrage that she thought she could profit off of. It's so insincere and nonsense. It reminds me of that fucking Mr. Potato Head pish. People are like, Mr. Potato Head is now gender neutral. What's going to happen? We're like, nothing. What are you talking about? What are you angry about? What does it matter? It's a bit of plastic. And then people were getting, like, the right wing were, like, start having to try and fabricate reasons that they're annoyed because they can't just say that they hate everyone that isn't boring and white. So they have to, like, find new creative. So with the Potato Head one, they were like, there's all these fucking articles being like, the left are up in arms and that's why Mr. Potato Head had to change its name. We're like, literally not. No one gave it. No one was angry that it was called Mr. Potato Head. That's not why they changed their name. It wasn't a response to the woke mob or this like fucking liberal army. It was simply a business decision from a company that was probably trying to get their name in the headlines any way they could, because who the fuck buys their kids plastic toys? They've all got iPads and fucking VR glasses and their own personal Tesla X rockets. Like, it's so stupid. All right, who else can we find? Let's just look for woke Lord of the Rings. I don't want to see someone talking about it. I want to see someone that's just really angry about it all, genuinely. This guy looks like he might be angry about it. Oh, we got an editing joke coming up. I didn't want to call exactly what I thought was going to happen, but that is exactly what I thought was going to happen. Jeff Bezos is... Like Jeff Bezos had a fucking ball hair to do with the new Lord of the Rings. Are you serious? Like, he was in the room being like, more representation, because that's what Jeff Bezos is known for, right? Is his groovy views on representation in the media.
It's strange. It feels like I was just talking about this subject. Oh yeah, with Disney Star Wars.
Of course you were. Of course you were. Why is that not remotely surprising? Why do they always have that voice as well? It's the same fucking voice.
Disassociated elitists who run the multi-billion-dollar corporation start using language like, the thing you love needs to appeal to a larger global audience.
Do you know what's wild about this stuff as well? Is the fact that they're always like these global elitists, these Jeff Bezos types, the richest people in the world. They're all in it to try and look out for the little guy. Like, where does this? Why do they think that the richest people on earth are also part of the woke agenda? It doesn't make any sense.
The detached elites who run the multi-billion-dollar corporation, along with the subpar hack activist creatives, along with the adult pretenders, call you a bigot.
The reason Hugh McGregor, I don't know a lot about all of this stuff, but Hugh McGregor called you a bigot because y'all started hate bombing something because there was a black woman in it. Isn't that what happened? They do know they can just not watch the show they don't like. Yeah, it's so bizarre. This has always been my argument whenever things get covered and stuff. People get really angry. Like, because I think people always expect it from me and Ross. Like, we used to get asked a lot about like the live action Disney remakes. Like, I don't, as long as you're not removing my original from existence. If the new Aladdin live action remake meant I could no longer watch the like early 90s one with Robin Williams, yeah, I'd be pissed. But it doesn't mean that.
George doesn't have any kids, but I did meet him once on the set of the Orville back in early 2021, and he was followed around by no less than 9 people that he referred to as minions.
You weird, buddy. You're weird.
By the way, on that tour, I was the only person whose hand he didn't shake.
What a bitch.
Well, just as you are free.
I mean, I don't think I'd shake your hand either. You look like you've got hobnob crumbs in your beard, my friend. I would not shake his hand because I don't know where his hand's been. I do know where it's not been. It's not felt another human in a while. That's all I know. Just the fucking crusty sock that he keeps under his Flash figure. This guy isn't sophisticated enough to eat a hobnob. That's true.
World while he raised a family, while he worked another job, unlike George R.R. Martin. Yes, the fans are very protective of him. But if you follow what's going on...
This guy really doesn't like George R.R. Martin, right? Just all because he wouldn't shake his hand. Like, I've never really thought much about George R.R. Martin, but showing me a video of him, like, bouncing on a trampoline naked, like, fucking, let's go. What, dude? Live your life.
To be, if you were a fan of Star Trek, you like Star Trek. Yeah, because Star Trek used to be good and it no longer is Star Trek.
I kind of desperately want to show Ross just that segment, but I wouldn't want to put him through that. I already know what his reaction is. I as someone who doesn't watch a lot of Star Trek, know enough about Star Trek to find it endlessly hilarious when these anti-woke bigots get angry about Star Trek having diversity in it. Like, it's so... If there was one show that pioneered that shit, that was entirely... Like, how can you miss the entire point of an entire thing that badly.
Now it seems like half the people who call themselves Star Trek fans hate Star Trek. Yeah, because it sucks. And the Star Wars fans...
I mean, hey, look, when someone's got a good argument, they've got a good argument. I respect articulate, well thought out arguments.
I want Scott Fitzgerald brought to life in front of my face. I want Daisy,
Yeah.
and Gatsby, and the Roaring Twenties.
That makes sense.
Get that.
That makes sense that you, like, if you want the original thing, like, it makes sense that if you're a lover of the Lord of the Rings, you want to see that. But this is a new story. This isn't, they're not changing the story. That's a completely irrelevant argument to this. And I'm not blaming Big Georgie for that, by the way. Obviously, that was just a clip taken out of context to try and prove his shite argument. It makes sense if you want to see the original done faithfully. It also makes sense if you want to see a new twist on it. If you want to see Shakespeare done traditionally, that makes sense. If you want to see it done in rap form, that makes sense. Those two things can also exist. And if you want to see someone being like, here's what happened after Romeo and Juliet and create an entirely new vision, that's cool as well. And it would also make sense if it was more in line with the concerns of today. Because Shakespeare's fucking dead.
Taking a character that was the pinnacle of feminine energy and the greatest of the female elves and turning her into a dude. I think the biological female, Melanie Mack, says it best. I'll never understand.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
I don't think there's a phrase that makes me more instantly angry that you're regularly here now than biological female. Fuck off. Like, what? Fuck off. You just slip that in there like you're trying. Oh, it's I don't mind ignorance. I don't mind ignorance. I am patient with ignorance. I have spoken to people with opinions that I vastly and hugely disagree with, and I'll be patient with them because I believe people are good. I believe that people are good-hearted even when they are completely on the right wing or completely disagreeing on things. They just have a different idea of how to solve certain problems. They've had a different upbringing. There's a whole bunch of different things. And hey, I'm wrong about a lot of shit. I have been my entire life. That's why I'm good at debate. It's because I've been in a shitload of arguments that I have looked stupid in. And I've learned how to humble myself through that. I think it's important to have this open dialogue. Ignorance is fine. We are all burdened with it to some degree. When you combine it with arrogance, it is so unbearable. When you're so confidently ignorant. When you're so ignorant and preaching.
And a knife right in her crotch area. I wonder what they're trying to tell us.
And I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Oh, he thinks that the knife is a penis. Oh, sweetie, because everything's phallic, isn't it? How's that microphone taste, buddy?
Mantras on this was to go back to the source material. McKay explains. What would Tolkien do? None of this. What?
How the fuck do you know? How the actual fuck do you know what Tolkien would do? How do you know? How do you know if Tolkien was alive in 2022 what he would think? How do you know? You fucking don't. You specky bastard.
Offered an opportunity to help shift the needle on a world that previously hasn't tended to feature people of color in prominent roles.
There's two options there as to why he said color like that. One is that he's angry at the phrase people of color because they do that a lot, these fucks, right? They like emphasize things weirdly to like mock the language. The other is that he's just mocking the English spelling of color. So we'll go with that. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, what has this guy done to make me think that he's a bad person?
What? If you can't see it, you can't be it, he says. Finally, in this show, kids can't.
What is his point there? Is he mocking... Right, let me get this straight. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. He's mocking the idea that black people need representation, or people of color in general, and women, and anyone that's not him, need representation in movies. He's mocking that because you don't need to see yourself in a movie in order to like it or feel it. That would be ridiculous. While at the same time, in the exact same pair of crusty old pants, he's making a full fucking video essay about the fact that there's not enough people that look like him. Did I get that right? I think I just nailed that, right? That's what's happening here. It's so fucking stupid.
People, and then there's the dwarves.
The only thing he can be laughing at is either that they're short, which surely he's on board with because dwarfs and Tolkien tradition and shit, or the fact that there's a black woman there, right? Or that she doesn't have a beard. Maybe. I hope that's where he goes. I hope that would be amazing if he was like, this is stupid, she doesn't have a beard. Oh, that chef's kiss, as he'd say.
I'm not gonna say anything. Yes, it looks like Nick Rekieta and Oprah Winfrey. Then we have a snow troll.
No, it was racism.
Good.
What's the name of the clowny clown guy? Crispin Glover, that's it. Him and his weird interviews. Have you all seen Clowny Clown? You've seen this before, right?
When I came to it, I found he showed me something that was brown. So we became great friends. And late in life, he got sick.
It sounds like I asked Polo to write a song that rhymes a lot.
I was walking on the ground. I didn't make a sound.
Lyrical genius, I know, right?
I saw a clown.
It got worse. He looked at his purse. But my theory is that he's so socially awkward that he's been in character his entire professional life. Which is so bizarre to think of, but I can't think of any other explanation, because if he was just someone that had just gone a bit doolally, people wouldn't work with him. But yeah, this is way back in the fucking 70s or whatever. I think it's this one where he like tries to kick David Letterman in the face and like gets dragged off or whatever. Like it was all a weird career, weird man.
I'm strong, you know. I'm strong. I can arm wrestle. Do you want to arm wrestle? No. I've been taking, I've taken part. These aren't mine. I can kick.
Okay. I'm gonna go check on the top 10.
No,
I'll be back.
Letterman clearly didn't know that was going to happen. Like, what do you guys think of that? Because this is a genuine, like, people don't know. People don't know, like, is he disturbed? Was he acting? Was Letterman maybe in on it? Although I'm pretty sure he's done interviews and stuff afterwards where he was like, no, he wasn't and stuff. Crispin Glover was banned from talk shows for years after this.
I don't need... That is not how I want my life ended. Some goofball, some dork from wherever... Oh, stop it, stop it.
You see, like, I can't tell. Like, it doesn't seem like he's in on it at all. We could watch more of that. If you guys are interested, let me know in the chat and we can watch more of that afterwards. We'll do a bit of Andrew Tate right now.
Miko then went on to talk about Andrew Tate and other bald misogynists. However, editor Pantwizard, say you should watch my video on him instead, as science has proved that my brain is at least 4 times the size of his, and I am in full control of this video. What's he gonna do? Fire me? Who else will he get to simulate a man performing fellatio on his microphone?
I think after all of this horseshit, we should go play. Yes, let's play. Let's play Siege. Oh, you fucker!